Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to Sky Factory. So in the last episode we got this automatic mana production setup going here. Now this is not completely automatic because of the simple fact that we will run out of coal here eventually, and we're going to need to probably set up, I don't know, charcoal production, or maybe we could set up those blaze spawners that we got, because I know that these endo flames will also burn blaze rods. But we need to get a renewable source of burnable fuel for these guys and then have it automatically piped into the chest. So that's one thing. Now I did also set up a third mana spreader here because even two of them was having trouble with 8 of the endo flames running non-stop. So this has been working very good. We've gotten a huge amount of mana. This one here, it's got, well, just a little bit in it. This one I've been using for storage, and it is right around a third of the way full. But, yeah, that is only a fraction of the mana that we have produced so far, because we have 3 mana tablets that are completely full. So these mana tablets are made just with some living rock and a mana pearl. Now the mana pearls we have been getting from loot bags, but they're pretty simple to make. You just drop an ender pearl into the mana pool and you get a mana pearl. So that's no big deal. But so what I want to do today is start to use a little of this mana. So one of the first things that I really want to do here, we are going to switch this to where it's accepting mana. We really need to pick this mana pool up and move it over to the other side. Now one thing that we are going to need to do is turn all of these mana spreaders, probably pointing down or something. We're going to need to shoot this mana across to the other side. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to do that, and I think what I'm also going to do is move this assembly over here to the edge of the island. That way we can put more of them in if we happen to need more mana. But so what I want to do next is we are going to make the Runic altar. So if we come back up here, the Runic altar is a fairly simple thing to make. It just takes 5 living rock and a mana pearl. Or we can use a mana diamond, and this, just like the other, the mana pearl is just a diamond in the mana pool, and it gives us the mana diamond. And it looks like, oh, nope. I thought maybe there was another way to do that, but I guess not. So, yeah, now we're going to go ahead and just quickly miss, apparently. We are going to toss this up there, and we're going to grab our mana pool here. Where'd it go? There it is. So that guy's full now. So we're going to go ahead and make that Runic altar, and we're going to look at a couple of the things that we can make right away with the Runic altar. So I have the recipe here for the mana tablet, so that's pretty easy to change to the Runic altar. So we're going to set that up. We're going to kill this sheep. Bye-bye, sheep. And another thing that we need is another mana spreader, because we're going to need to take mana from the pool and send it back into the Runic altar. Oh, I just made 7 of them. Whoops. Well, I guess that happens. So I am going to set this Runic altar over here, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the Petal Apothecary here in the center, and we're going to place our Runic altar in its place. So I suppose put that block of wool there just because, yeah, I don't know. But we're going to place down our mana pool, and we're going to go ahead and drop our mana tablets on here. And I wonder, can we set more than one of those on? It looks like we can. So we can really transfer a lot of mana into the pool very quickly with this. if it will actually work. So now the next thing that I want to do is set these mana spreaders down here. And I suppose we'll just set 3 of them. And we're going to go ahead and link all of these guys to the Runic altar. And then I think what we're going to do is grab those. And we are going to set that to sparing items. Is it going to... No. Oh, does that not work? So apparently we need something else to be able to put the mana into the altar. So I suppose I'm going to have to do a little bit of research here to figure out exactly why this isn't working. And yeah, I'll get that. I'll gather up a few resources so that we can start making some items, and I will be right back. Well, it didn't take very long to figure out what I needed to do there. So rather than using mana spreaders, we need to be using sparks. So the spark is very simply just 2 mana petals, some blaze powder, and some gold nuggets. Now I think we've got everything available there. So that gave us live drive. Okay. So we'll go ahead and make up 2 sparks there. And then we're going to make these first 8 runes, I think is what we're going to do. We're going to make the 4, the water, fire, earth, and air. And then we're going to make spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So for the rune of water, we need a fishing rod, bone meal, sugarcane, and some mana steel. So first off, we need the mana steel. We're just going to grab all of our mana steel. We are going to need some bone meal, sugarcane, and then we need a fishing rod, which would be just some string and sticks. Nothing major there. And we don't have any sticks. Really? No sticks. Interesting. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted to do. We're going to make a few stacks of sticks, because it seems like I'm always needing sticks and I never have them. So, fishing rod, that will take care of the first one. So the rune of fire, we need the mana steel again, we need nether brick, gunpowder, and nether wart. So if we put in nether, so we'll grab some nether wart, some nether brick, and you know what, we'll get rid of some of this junk that we don't need. And then we needed, what was the last thing? Gunpowder. So we should have plenty of that, shouldn't we? Oh, wait, I think I traded most of that in for loot bags. Well, we've got enough. So we probably should keep this stuff a little bit more organized. So we've got the gunpowder, nether brick, and nether wart for the first one, sugarcane, bone meal, fishing rod. The rune of earth takes a mushroom, a block of coal, and some type of smooth stone. So we'll grab a block of stone, a block of coal, and what was the last thing? A mushroom. And we have a mushroom. So there's that one. The rune of air takes string, feather, and carpet. And I can pretty well guarantee we don't have any of that, but we do have wool. So we'll go ahead and make, no, not slabs, some carpet. We need string. And the last thing was, what? A feather. And we should have plenty of those. There we go. Well, we'll go ahead and make these 4 real quick, and I might... Oh, wait. And we need living stone. So, living stone. And we're down to only 28 of those now, so we may want to get a little bit more of the living stone going on. And I don't know, maybe we'll look at getting something set up for automation on that. So from the way I understand this, we place a spark on top of the mana pool, we place one on top of the runic altar. I can't do that. What? Okay. What the? It's in the altar. How do I get you back? Apparently just like that. Well, I thought we were supposed to put the spark on top of the runic altar. Maybe not. Well, do we need to bind? Oh, wait, we can pick those up by shift clicking on them. Okay. So, I don't know. Something there doesn't seem right. So now we'll just go ahead and try this out. So we needed fishing rod, bone meal, sugarcane, and 3 mana steel. And I have never done any of this stuff before, so I don't know for sure if I'm doing it right. So then we're supposed to click on it with the wand. And it looks like we're getting no mana. Yeah. So what am I doing wrong with these sparks? I don't get it. What? I am confused. Well, I guess it's back to trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong here, and I will be right back. Well, apparently it was a lot simpler than I thought, and that was just put the mana spreader next to the pool. So I don't know why the spark wouldn't work. It says in the book that sparks can only work with certain blocks. Apparently a runic altar is not one of them. So we now have a full mana charge in our runic altar. Our final step is to throw on a piece of living rock, and we should get, I guess we need to click on it then. So there we go. 3 runes of water. So that gave us Lilium Doll. Well, I don't know what that means. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our next rune. So that's these. We'll right click on this with the wand. We can see there's a progress bar in the little rune icon next to the cursor. And that's filling pretty fast thanks to having 3 mana spreaders taking care of it. Finally, that's not what I wanted to do. So we need to queue the item onto it. And there we go. So there's our runes of fire. That was the wrong thing to do. Okay, so then we had the string, the feather, the carpet. All of these take 3 mana steel, so that's really simple. We'll go ahead and toss that on there. Very rapidly filling up. And this should be the rune of air. There we go. And then finally we have the mushroom, the block of coal, and the smooth stone. So we'll go ahead and put this on there. Drop our living rock, and we should be done with this in just a little bit. So these are the first runes that we need to make. Now if we take a look at some of the uses on these guys, we have like a snowflake pendant. I have no idea what that does. A ring of chordata. No idea. We got a couple of fish on there. I don't know what that does. Maybe it gives us underwater breathing and swimming? Don't know. We have a rod of the seas. I believe this will create water sources around. We can use prismarine with the rune of water and a mana lens to make a mana lens weight, whatever that is. TerraSteel agglomeration plate. Actually, this is kind of important because I think this is how we make our TerraSteel. So that takes a rune of water, rune of earth, mana, air, and fire. And rod of the depths. Water and fire. I think that makes cobblestone wherever it is used. So there's a few things that we can do there with that. And let's just see if there were any other uses. So we have the spark augmentation dispersive. Mana lens for efficiency. So that should improve our mana spreaders. What else do we have here? Anything else? Oh. A Narslimus. What? What's this? It's all sticky. I would imagine it has something to do with slime. Because we got a lot of green involved. It kind of has slime in it. Water in summer. We can make Jeulia Flugelderferheit? What? I don't know. I can't pronounce that. These are some weird names. If you don't walk, it doesn't hurt. Okay. Boy, that takes a lot of petals. Once again, a lot of petals and a lot of other stuff. So we've got a lot of recipes that we are unlocking by getting these runes. I'm not sure what all of that stuff does. We do have some more runic altar stuff. So the rune of spring requires the rune of water, the rune of fire, some saplings. Can that be any saplings? It looks like any saplings, and then a piece of wheat. Rune of winter requires earth and water, cake, wool, and snow. Snow is going to be a bit of a problem. Oh, and we have a recipe for every color of wool. Really? So a rune of greed, spring and water. Envy, winter and water. And we're back to the beginning there, and back to the shaped crafting. So there's definitely a lot of stuff that we can do with these guys. But I think our next step is going to be to, of course, get these next 4 runes, the spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But we may need to set up a few machines to get that. I know getting the snow blocks, we're going to need to make a glacial precipitator. And I'm not sure how we're going to make that glacial precipitator without snow. So, glacial precipitator. Oh, it doesn't take snow. I don't know that I've ever seen a recipe for this guy that doesn't take snow. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to make that up. I'll gather up a few more things. We'll look at making the next set of runes, and we'll go from there. So I've gone ahead and made up the rest of our runes here, and I have kind of an interesting thing that we are going to try to do next. So I have here in my inventory some lapis blocks, a block of mana steel, living rock, some diamonds that need to be changed into mana diamonds, mana steel, and mana pearls. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to try to make some TerraSteel. So the first thing to do to get this done, I guess we're going to come over here and drop these diamonds into this mana pool. And apparently we had more than enough mana to do that. So now the next thing that we need to do is I think we just need a crafting table. And we need to make that terrestrial agglomeration table, or whatever it was. Yeah, how was that spelled? Terrestrial agglomeration table. So that takes lapis blocks, mana steel, and then our water, earth, air, fire, and a mana tablet. Now this mana tablet was just 5 mana steel and a mana pearl. Nothing really extravagant there. Okay, that does not work. What? Why you no work? What? What's going on with that? Let's pull up Lapis. Do we have to do this in a non-crafting terminal? Well, let's go ahead and try it in a regular crafting table. That seems odd. So it says it's shaped crafting. Huh. Very weird. So next we need 5 mana or living rock and 4 lapis lazuli blocks. So we're going to need to come over here, and we're going to do this near our full mana pool here. So I think we're just going to go ahead and do it here. And I think I'm going to put my ring of magnetization back on. Oh, excuse me. Because I am really getting tired of this not picking things up for me. So there we go. So what we need to do here, we put lapis on the 4 sides. We get back out of there. We put mana steel on, or mana steel, living rock on the others, and then we put our agglomeration table here. Now that should be correct. Now this is one place that I know we can use the sparks. So we'll go ahead and put a spark here, and I believe 1 mana pool full should give us at least enough mana for 1 TerraSteel. So let's go ahead and let this do its thing. It's going to take it a little bit. And as long as I'm thinking about it, we're going to go ahead and place our mana tablets on here as well, so that they are keeping that filled up. So come on, let's see it. Woohoo! TerraSteel! Oh yes! So there's a couple of things that I know we can do with this. Of course we have the Terra Shatterer. This is the Botania pickaxe, and this thing is just absolutely obscene when it gets to SS rank. But also we do have TerraSteel seeds, which we would need for TerraSteel, but we need this Zavisio essence for that. Now we have not yet reached the level of Zavisio. We need some fairly major stuff before we can get to that. So I don't know that I'm going to worry about that just yet, but also we have the TerraSteel armor. Now, I don't know how good this stuff is, but it can't be all bad. But I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of this TerraSteel here, at least as much of as I can based on the amount of mana that I have. And yeah, as soon as I'm done with that, we will come back and yeah, I'll take a look at what we can do with it then. Well, I was able to make all 5 pieces of TerraSteel, but I was kind of looking at a few things, and first off, as far as mining is concerned with that thing, we don't have a real need for it here because we are in a void world. So unless we have some type of a world for mining, that's kind of pointless, and also it takes a huge amount of mana to charge it. So that's kind of not going to work. Now, as far as the TerraSteel seeds are concerned, I took a look at this Zavisio essence, and we need this extreme infusion stone. Well, to make that, we need unstable ingots, a nether star, obsidian essence, and glowstone essence. Well, we don't have any of that right now. So, yeah, we've got a little ways to go on this. We're going to have to get set up for a wither boss so that we have our nether star. So, yeah, we've got a little ways on that. So instead, I thought we'd finish out the episode with something a little fun. So I had a request here quite a while back to go and plant this sacred rubber sapling. So I went ahead and backed up the world just in case anything bad happens. But we're going to fly out quite a ways away from the base, and we're going to plant this thing. So I think I'm going to head over here because I see my jetpack is getting a little low on fuel. We're going to fuel up the jetpack. We're going to head off in a direction. And actually, I think before we go, I might upgrade the jetpack as well. So I think I can just go like this and get my stuff back. So if we look at the uses on the jetpack, we can upgrade that with the reinforced stuff. Nah. I think we'll have enough here. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to fly out way away from the base, and then I'll set my angel block down, which I don't think I ever showed you guys this. It's pretty simple to make. It's just a piece of obsidian, 2 feathers, and a gold ingot. Pretty simple. So yep, I'm going to fly way off in the distance, and we're going to plant this thing. So we're out about 1,000 blocks away from the base, and actually I think we should go ahead and make just a little bit of an indication as to what direction the base is. But we're going to go ahead and bone meal this thing. Now we are right about at sea level, so we're at 63. So this guy is probably around 65. Now, I'm hoping it will grow up from here and that it doesn't require a huge platform of dirt. So we're going to find all of that stuff out right now. So I'm just going to bone meal this. Oh, well, the game is pretty well locked up now. Whoa! Whoa, low frame rate, low frame rate, low frame rate. Wow. Oh my gosh, low frame rate. I have no idea what's going on right now. According to our Y position, we are inside the tree. Okay. Well, that does not work. So, yeah, this is a little bit humorous. And there it is. The massive monster of a tree. So this thing is just, I don't know what in the heck we're going to do with it. It creates huge amounts of lighting updates, which doesn't really matter here for us. Because, well, quite frankly, there's no real lighting here. So we're going to see if we can get on top of it, because there is something rather interesting in the center. So I'm going to fly up there, and I will be back when I get up on top. Ah, all the frames. Oh my gosh. This is terrible. Whoops, I just snapped a screenshot. So yeah, there are so many lighting updates and chunk updates and everything like that going on right now. It is absolutely obscene. And oh my gosh, we could build literally anything out of this thing. So I suppose we may try to set up a harvester or two on this thing and get it going with some charcoal production to power itself. But yeah, we are in the center of the tree right now. This thing is ridiculous. So yeah, usually I'm getting easily 60 frames. I'm getting a little over 20 right now. So this thing is kind of ridiculous. We've got an incredible mob spawner now. But I don't know what we're going to do with it for sure. But I am going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up and let me know. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts or comments or anything you'd like to see me do, go ahead and let me know, because, yeah, as is evidenced here, I'll do some crazy things. But, yeah, we will see you next time. Bye.